Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Python 3 fundamentals video, and in this video we're going to talk about the data types. So we're going to talk about the primitive data types and then the data type conversion functions, input, output, string, and a lot of examples. It's going to be a heavy demo. So come, let's get started. So in the previous video we stopped here. We talked about the variables assignment and the print function. Alright, so the print function itself is an output type. So we know what is the amount, tax, here the total, all these things are variables. We are assigning some value to it, and based on the value it will be taken it. Alright, now the Python actually works with the inferred thing. So Python infers the type of the variable based on the value that you put it in the right side. The number 69 is integer, so it's assigned to a amount variable and it is considered as the integer. Similarly, tax is in decimal, so it is considered as the float. So that's how the Python infers the variable type based on what you. Now print is the function that you pass an argument, okay, which is here total. It's kind of a black box, so anything that you pass will be taken and printed. That's it. We doesn't know what it does inside, but print is a function. It just accepts and printed. Now data type conversion, right? So if you want to convert a decimal number here 10.6 to a full number, if you pass that inside the int function, it will convert and chop it off 0.6. So the answer will be 10. Similarly for float, if you pass a full digit, it will convert into a floating point which will be 10.0. So that's how the data type conversion will work. Okay, so this is how the int and float can be used as a conversion. Alright, come, let's take a look at the demo. So I'm going to create a new file and let's name this as the datatypes.py. So we're going to see some data types here. So the first thing that we already spoke, if you assign a number and then if you want to convert that into a full number, you use this int parenthesis followed by the floating number, like any number that is decimal. So now if you print this amount variable, 0.6 will be chopped off, only 10, which is the full integer, will be printed. You see this, it's printing. Similarly, if you use float and then pass a full number, it will convert into a floating number, which means 10 can be also converted into 10.0. So if you just pass 10 and then try to print it, see, it's printing as 10.0. So that's how the int and float will work. So we know the primitive types, we know now data type conversion functions. We also know something called print. All these things are inbuilt one. Okay, how about a string? A string stores a text. Text is nothing but alphanumeric thing. So it can be alphabet, it can be numeric. So let's consider this. Let's consider name is equal to Karthik. It's in single quotes. Anything that you put in single quotes, Python, you're telling Python that anything that is inside the single quote, it's a string. So when you print name, it doesn't comes with string. It doesn't comes with the single quotes because that is just for the Python understanding, right? So I'm going to expand this. We will see some more example. It will be nice to see that. Okay, now let's have a variable called YouTube channel name. I'm going to put my channel name here. So I have a name. I'm trying to have a variable called YouTube channel name, and if you print this, it's going to display that, which we know by now. But what if I have to tell this that this is my channel name? See, when I put apostrophe, it starts getting confused. So because the string got ended with the Karthik and it doesn't know what to do. To solve this, you put everything inside a double quote. So double quotes and single quotes, anything inside that, based on your need, you can use it and it will be considered as string. See, now we want a single quote, so we used double quotes from the starting and the ending, and then if you put single quotes, it will be still considered as the string. Now you can see it is printed as learn smart coding as Karthik's channel. Now let's do some more example. I'm having a variable called owner, which is my name, and then YT channel. I'm putting some channel name. If I have to print this, so let's have another variable called channel details, and I'm going to just concatenate two strings. So I can concatenate two strings with the plus operator and then it will be concatenated. Now if I concatenate these two variables, these two content will be concatenated and will be printed, but looks very ugly. There is no space, right? That's because it just adds up. Now if you have to put some space, you can use more plus operator and have little more space inside these two words. So how do you do that? You just use the double quotes or single quotes with the space, and then you just add it. Everything will be concatenated. Now I'm trying to add multiple words with variable and non-variable direct characters. So you can concatenate like this. See, now it will show the channel name plus space plus is place and then owner. It's coming, right? See, Learn Smart Coding is Karthik's channel. So in order to put that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the double quotes, and I can also use a apostrophe within the double quotes. So the way how you format, it will just concatenate with the space and all those things, and then now it shows nicely with the text. It's basically a string. Now that's how you do concatenation. So we learned about string, how to assign string, how to concatenate strings. Now let's do one thing. I wanted to get this name from the user, not like I hard code in my Python file. So in order to do that, we will deal with something called input. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I have a static, I have a default name for the username, and greeting is basically just concatenating the username with the hello. So it will say hello username. Now I want this username to be taken by the, will be given by the user. I wanted to get the input from the user because his name is anything. We don't know who's using this, right? When we build application, we need to know those kind of things. How do you get that dynamically? So there's something called input in Python. That's an inbuilt one. So if you use inbuilt and then open the parenthesis, and then you can type something which is displayed for the user to understand. So here I'm typing input parenthesis, what is your name, right? And then that value, the whatever is getting input, right, that will be read from the screen and assigned on the username variable. Then if I start to print it, it's going to print whatever was received. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to run this. Now you see this, the button started coming just after the question mark. This doesn't look nice, right? If I start typing here, it doesn't look nice. How do you get that to the bottom of the next line? So basically the user input should be in the next line. That looks nice. How do you do that? There is something called special character in the Python. /n. /n means it's a new line. The moment you use /n, Python will interpret and it will give you a new line automatically. So when we run this, what will happen? The input which was blinking will come in the next line because of the /n. So /n you cannot use for your own self, but you can use it for program the way it was intended to use it. So /n is to get you a new line. Okay, so now you see, now it is asking our name to type in the next line instead of just right after the question mark. If you type something and enter, line number 27, 28 will be executed. Until that, it will be stepped at the 26th line itself. Okay, when we debug, we will come to know how it will work, but basically it is now expecting the line number 26 to execute, and that's how it is. So let's summarize whatever we learned. Okay, we learned about primitive types. So the first thing that we learned is the primitive data types, so which is nothing but assigning a number to a variable that will become an integer. And then if you assign a decimal variable, decimal value, which is having a fraction like 10 point, anything with point, right, that will become a float. Anything that you assign with a single quotes or double quotes, everything is considered as a string that will be assigned to a string variable. Now all these variables, I'm reminding you, will be inferred its type based on what you assign to the right side. Now we also learned about input and output. Input is basically to read data or read some content from the user. Output example is the print function, which will blindly print whatever we are asking to print. Like within the bracket, which is called argument, you pass it, it prints it. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, you liked it, you learned it something. And in the next video, let's talk about so in the next video we will use all these concepts and quickly have a age calculator demo, and it will be very nice. We will use all of whatever we have learned. And until then, signing off. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech tutorials. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Happy coding!